Welcome to June. This is our month 6 block placement. It goes in the lower corner, and as you can see, we've worked our way all the way down. We just have one more block at the end here at the bottom, the Merry Christmas, but I'm almost not even counting that in my mind because that's going to take 2 minutes. So essentially for me in my head, this is like the last of the blocks of the month, and we're only in June, so this is definitely going to be up on my quilting wall before the end of the year is out. This particular piece was one of those long pieces, and so I just gave it a little iron because it was folded in the bag, and I'll just let that cool for a second before I go ahead and pop that one on. I already have my reindeer and bird all in position, and they're just finger pressed in place at the moment, and I'm just putting on these pieces so you can see in real time. This really goes so fast. Maybe I should put my glasses on, and then I can actually see, not just sort of see. And some of you have noticed that I'm using a directional fabric in my background, which meant that I did have to pay attention to which way the pattern went when I laid my blocks out. I also had to be very careful with my cutting chart to make sure I was cutting my pieces properly, because that's exactly the kind of mistake I would make when I have exactly the size background I need and then cut one of the pieces wrong. That's not what I wanted to do. But you can see as we go in real time here how quickly this goes on. And I may have to cheat in a second to see where some of my pieces go. I always start these split leaves at the other end so that I don't tear my split. And also, if you ever have a problem getting these paper off of the back, you can run a little needle across the back of the paper just deep enough to perforate the paper, and that will give you a easy way to get the paper off of the back. Let's see, does that go in one or two? It goes in the middle one. It's almost going to be sad for me when I have this finished. I've enjoyed putting it together so much. Have you ever had anyone that was sad that they finished their block of the month early? At least on time? Where does that go? Okay, there we go. I just did a double peek just to see if I get it right. And this is it. My final little cranberry dot, or holly dot. It's a hollyberry. That's what it is. Then all I have to do is pull my paper out, and whether you want to use steam from your iron or if you want to spritz the top, either one works good, or both. Then it's just a matter of holding the iron in place. If you are the kind of person that likes to use a pressing sheet on top, the steam from the iron is not going to penetrate that, so you would definitely need to spritz the top of the fabric and then let the iron sit on top of the pressing sheet. That way you still have that steam action that works through the block. The steam seem to absolutely require steam for it to be properly fused. Also, as I've said in the past, if you're getting a lot of gumming on your needle when you're quilting, that gumming on the needle, if it's excessive, is just an indication that you did not fuse properly. The bonding agent should adhere through the fabric, and there shouldn't be any excess between the top layer and the bottom layer to be coming up on your needle. And at Urban Elements, we do not top stitch all of these component pieces. We simply use a quilting design and do an edge-to-edge design over the whole piece and quilt that way. We don't top stitch. If you like to top stitch, good for you. I hope you enjoy it. It always drove me crazy. And that's one of the things I love about the laser cutting. Gives you such a beautiful crisp edge, and not top stitching it. Again, you get the beautiful crisp edge, and the design really just pops out. Again, I know I've said this in the past, but I just love to reinforce it. Some of those pieces are layered, multiple pieces high, and we want to make sure that that steam and that heat gets through all the layers. So whether you use the spray on or the steam of the iron, you want to make sure that you really go through and heat up the whole block from the front and the back to make sure that it's completely bonded. And I think instead of next month of just showing you the Merry Christmas block, I think I'll go ahead and make that, and then we'll just talk about borders, quilting maybe, and getting this quilt assembled and ready for quilting. And there you have it, our piece block, which is exactly what the world needs more of. Talk to you soon.